you lovely people. Welcome to the channel, and today we're talking about Harry and Meghan. We don't usually talk about them, but this is quite interesting because after all the fanfare and what happened in New York and the taxi chase and the paparazzi chase and all of that, and of course probably the whole year of stuff about these people, or not wanting to be in the media, sort of depicting themselves as if persecuted by the media, by the paparazzi, and all the unfairness that takes place in their mind. I find it interesting that all of a sudden this rumor is coming out, at least for the moment. I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently this royal author says distance between the couple getting wider. There is an entire slew of article on them about this. And apparently I was saying Prince Harry called divorce lawyer months ago claimed Lady Colin Campbell, which is this author, a socialite and author, says that 5 sources have told her that Meghan and Harry are divorcing. So Prince Harry called in lawyers months ago to plan a divorce for Meghan Markle. She was commenting on report that Harry has been spending time alone at 2 hotels, one near home in Montecito and another in Los Angeles. Lady Campbell, known as Lady C, told CGB News, there's been problem in the marriage supposedly for some time. I mean, I've heard from 5 totally reliable sources that Harry called in the lawyer some months ago. The problem is that the information doesn't necessarily match up with their public face, but of course their public face is not an extent slapped on for monetary gain. And also, if there are real problems in the marriage, which do appear to be, Harry is going to have a heck of a time extricating himself because he has been very overt about all of these failings. Wow. So this stuff, it's pretty shocking in a way that, for this couple that seem to be like united in this crusade against the media, and all of a sudden, if it's true that this guy called in the lawyers, that means that it's something that it's already happening. I don't know who called the lawyer first. I don't know if it was her calling the lawyer first and he called the lawyer as well because you got to prepare it, or him calling the lawyer first. I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of people points out, of course, I'm not following that much, but to me it seems like there's a lot of rumors out there that, of course, the perpetrators, the narcissist in this case, it's Meghan Markle, and the victim of all of this, of course, is Prince Harry. So if you follow that, let's say, direction, you probably think that she initiated this whole thing, most likely. He's also said to have a room at St. Vincent Bungalow, a private member club in LA, near where he attends a gym class called Barry's Boot Camp. The sprawling mega city is around 100 miles from the exclusive coastal enclave where they live alongside dozens of other celebrities. So in a discussion with Don Wootton, well, we don't care about this guy, she was also asked about Meghan criticism on the game show Deal or No Deal after she said she was treated like a bimbo when she was a briefcase girl. Lady C said everything she says is total nonsense because, first of all, the show is about the delectable girls, and it's about their beauty, it's about their attractiveness, it's about their vivacity. Every single other woman on the show who has achieved more than Meghan has achieved has said that a wonderful opportunity it was and what marvelous employers they were. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, if you participate in a type of show that does this and then you complain, that's always the sort of victim Karen move, right? The let's say the continuous status of being a victim, the perennial status of being a victim, just to gather sympathy. I mean, I'm not an expert on narcissism, but one thing is for sure, that if this is the case, it will be interesting to see how this is going to develop. And I have a sense that if she is this much of a narcissist, I don't think she's going to back down from her positions and her demands. So it's gonna be a shit show for sure. And obviously for the guy, I don't know, he seemed like a kind of young man that it's, has had his own trouble to venture in and also try to get out of. Obviously, losing a parent, it's a trauma that stays with you. It doesn't matter if you're poor or rich. Of course, if you're extremely wealthy, you have other means that can compensate, or you have other things to worry about, and you don't have to worry about other things that poor people have to worry about, of course. But still, the emotional trauma that you carry within, it's also subjective, depending on the character of an individual. Some people might respond differently, of course. Everybody responds in a different manner to such a traumatic event. So I feel that he was deeply traumatized, and in a way, I don't want to justify his continuous, let's say, poor choices in life, but I'm sure that we can attribute some of those probably to something like that, and maybe more. So 100% this is going to be a shit show. And yeah, she's already setting up her life with the podcast and everything. Even though I don't think she's garnering much sympathy anymore. The more this continues to go on, the more it becomes obvious. And actually, if there were people in doubt, I think that if this thing happens to be true, that the lawyers think it's real, also those people in doubts will sway towards disliking them even further. The only positive outcome of this is that perhaps, out of all of this, there might be some little bit of redemption for this dude, despite the fact he's a total simp. But yeah, that has to be seen. Anyway, guys, I'll keep you posted. If we know more. Now we have just these words of this lady, and even though probably she's much more connected than I am with her sources, it's still like at this stage. So we'll see if there is in the near future any confirmation from her camps or not. So we'll be also curious, because they seem also very adamant to respond to criticism online. We've seen this with the taxi driver, or the chase through New York with the paparazzi thing, that they were hurt so much into their feels that people don't believe that the catastrophe was about to happen. Anyway, please subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Take care of yourself, and thank you for the support. Ciao.